All right, it's time to discuss the epic, what do we call this?
Duology?
Double feature?
Double feature works.
It's a pretty epic one.
Is somebody in here?
Just those lazy old movie watching types.
Duffy?
You are one of a kind. You're a talking horse.
I watched A Talking Cat first, followed shortly.
You gotta yell. You gotta yell.
A Talking Pony? That's what I watched next.
A talking pony?
I feel like I need an espresso martini to be able to whip out that kind of energy.
Oh yeah, it's kind of late for you. Oops. A talking cat? I watched the pony one first and then the cat one second.
Interesting, because I had a little theory about this.
Oh,
I was a bit worried about this, actually.
A game theory?
My game theory being whichever one you like first, you're probably going to prefer.
Oh, yeah.
There's a little bit of crossover going on here. I don't know. I myself, I'm on Team Talking Cat. I gotta say. But this incestuous kind of reuse of a bunch of the same actors and voices and whatnot, there ain't much in it, to be honest. But I think a big advantage Duffy has over Pony, you can just it's a bit easier to shoot a cat, I feel like. So they could get a little bit closer to it, get some more varied shots of the cat doing things. They even use like special effects on the cat talking sometimes.
Read your beeping machine.
That was a choice.
I don't think you get that with the pony.
Hello. It's a pleasure to meet you.
They're clearly a little bit more limited with the way you just can shoot a horse, I guess, compared to a cat.
I don't think it's inherent to the concept of a horse. I think it's the fact that they had
with how this guy makes movies.
There's a difference between shooting a horse and shooting an acting horse. That was not an acting horse. They didn't get like a horse that is in movies. They just got it was just someone's horse.
And the same for the cat. Yeah, it was just someone's cat.
It was just someone. Yeah, it was just there's no professionalism to be found. And the horse was like, it seemed like just kind of tired the whole time. like kind of old, probably. Didn't really do much. And there was one spot that it was in the whole movie. Like just in the corral, and only on one side of the corral for like 80% of the film, or when it showed up in the film. Yeah,
and you got to remind the audience this is one of 9 films this director released in 2013 alone.
David DeCoteau.
One of the busiest directors, clearly. If you go on that IMDb, there's a hell of a lot of entries right here. Yeah, they are busy.
Mm-hmm. A real Bioden Steven. I pulled both of those names from memory. This is crazy.
Damn.
They're just in there.
Yeah, I'm much better with faces than names. You're not going to catch me remembering David DeCoteau. What is he?
Yeah.
It's like French. It's a French film.
I don't know.
Talking Cat, French New Wave.
Well, why don't we start with A Talking Cat?
The famous one, the more well-known.
Yeah, apparently a bunch of people reviewed this a while ago, like JonTron and peeps, so people know about it.
Yeah, and I think just having Eric Roberts in there did boost its profile a little bit. And I think that's one of the main things that edges it out to me over A Talking Pony. Because that VO is like so funny to me.
He's very old sounding.
He sounds old. He sounds like he's 2 rooms away.
Tina, please, read your machine.
Yes.
Like recording like in a bathroom. Which I think actually is literally what he did. Like I found a piece of trivia about the Eric Roberts inclusion. Cause I was trying to find like how much he was paid for this. Because man, I bet it was more than deserved. But yeah, in a 2017 episode of the podcast, Eric Roberts is the fucking man. Eric Roberts, who voiced the talking cat Duffy, said that he recorded his dialogue in the bathroom of, quote, some guy's house, as the bathroom had the best acoustics.
That's so funny.
Yeah, apparently it took 15 minutes to do his VO.
Unsurprising, actually.
I should probably follow Phil inside, but there is seriously nothing more wonderful than a cat nap.
That was definitely a one take, best take situation. first take.
Yeah, and the fact that they can't even commit to the way the talking cat is communicated. Like for the first section of the movie, there's no mouth movement or whatever. It's just like pure Eric Roberts kind of awkwardly stitched in.
I heard that.
And then they just decide at a certain point, oh no, let's animate the mouth kind of.
I understand why. What the problem they were trying to solve was to have some sort of differentiating feature so that the audience knew which dialogue was internal and external.
I like cats.
Ooh, cats like you too.
So every time he doesn't open his mouth, it's his thoughts, and he's just talking as the narrator, essentially.
Oh, right.
And then when he does open his mouth, he's actually talking to the humans. Better solution would have been just like, I don't know, add like an echo effect in his thoughts. And then the audience could infer the rest. Because that animation effect, I can't even call it animation. Like, what is that? They're just like a black void.
It looks like something you'd see in a Nostalgia Critic cutaway from like 2010.
Yeah, like early Nostalgia Critic.
Yeah.
Like before he hit his stride, before he got like better special effects.
And yeah. And I don't know if you can really trust it or believe it, but the budget says $1 million on IMDb.
Sure.
Which I guess you could launder $1 million through this with the two locations, like one being a mansion, like whatever, and maybe Eric Roberts got a big one.
Well, probably a lot of it went to the actors, you know.
I don't know. I've seen a lot of like bad straight-to-video movies, and there's like tiers of actor. I don't know. The older guy in this movie who's like a computer algorithm genius who's got like a Zoomer haircut.
He's a coder.
Yeah.
We change up some of the algorithms, get a list of variables, get some recognition software.
The best coder. He spent like 30 years of his life trying to code one thing. The technology became outdated for whatever he was working on by the time he was finished with it.
Yeah.
We solved the websites, the interface, the code that I worked half my life on, sold myself out of a job. Now they say that I've got enough money to retire.
But the way he was kind of carrying himself, he had a little bit of a screen presence, you know?
Yeah.
He had something going on. More than I was expecting, at least for this tier of movie.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's just everything else like around this talking cat. Like, you kind of mentioned the rules, the different ways this cat communicates. And they do try and establish this magical rule attached to this cat where it can talk to each character one time, right? Have I got that right?
For some reason.
I can only speak to you once. It's the rules.
Okay.
For some reason. It's limited to...
Whatever one time means.
Because that makes the sitcom setup and punchline so much stronger if you have that rule in. It just makes everything hit so much harder.
Yeah.
With all these various characters who will get one little conversation. You got the IT dad and his twink son.
Yes.
Who is they're supposed to be related, but they look like different races.
I'm glad you said it.
Yeah. I don't know, both these films have this thing about like a brother or a sibling rivalry of some kind.
Two different writers though.
Yeah, that's another interesting point. Different writers, and I think we know which one is more talented as far as like dialogue and jokes are concerned, and it ain't the one in Talking Cat. That's kind of why this one is funnier to me, is that there's like, in the intention, there's really nothing that works, like nothing. Whereas I was kind of surprised by how some of the lines in A Talking Pony, they were like, I don't know, that's kind of a comedic line that's intentionally funny, and it was kind of humorous. there's
a lot of anti-humor.
Yeah, but there's not a single one of those in the Talking Cat, to me.
No. There's
I don't think so.
The plot of A Talking Cat is held together by like a huge cheese puff drama.
That's right. They're talking about cheese puffs every 5 minutes.
Woman, she's addicted.
I'm losing money on those cheese puffs. The investor meeting is not going well, and I don't have cheese puffs.
Her life is in shambles because her cheese puff budget is just eating up her savings. Okay, wait. Let's try to retrace our steps here. We get the intro.
Please.
The talking cat says to the audience, "I'm gonna help humans. I like to be a cat, but I'm here to help them."
Because I help people, even if they don't know they need help. Because as I've discovered, people need all the help they can get.
There's two families. First, we see Tech Dad and Twink Son.
Yeah, that's one combo.
And Twink Son loves running up and down the stairs, and they love showing him running up and down the stairs. It happens 4 times in the first, 15 minutes, I think. Yeah, 4 times in the first 13 minutes was in my notes.
Oh, man.
I thought it was going to happen for the rest of the movie. I thought it would have been a great drinking game.
Yeah.
How many times is he going to run up and down the stairs? It's just an entire long unbroken shot. Okay, bye, son. He runs up the stairs.
That would be a good drinking game with this film, actually. It's unnecessary camera movements that are there. If you take a shot every time there's one of those, you're going to be destroyed. Because they do that a lot.
The style was weird.
Really weird style. It was they kind of knew that there were only 2 locations. It's okay, we can mix it up, but just the camera's moving all the time.
Yeah.
That will liven it up, and it's this doesn't match what you're saying or what you're trying to show.
Not at all.
Very funny, but
very funny. There was one shot where I was you could just change this to a more sinister sounding tone, and it would be a horror movie shot. He's running around.
Yeah.
Where's Jason? Or what? I don't remember what his fucking. Where's my twink?
Chris!
What happened? Did you burn something in the kitchen again?
No, come here, quick!
it's you could do that, or there's also that kind of porno acting sort of vibe as well, where every scene kind of, I don't know, it feels more like a porno is being built up than...
Yeah, the pool scene was very homoerotic.
Very, yeah. Yeah, I know
that was surprising.
That too. That was hilarious.
They both stripped. They're I'm going to teach you how to swim.
Do you think you could teach non-kids how to swim?
Sure. No problem. I just may have to come over a lot this summer and make sure the pool's up to snuff.
And clearly also not intentional. A lot of unintentional humor here.
But it's so homoerotic, I'm okay, you can tell who the top is.
Yeah. Another thing with these films, right, the establishing shots. What is the deal?
Dude loves water.
Oh, he loves water.
More than James Cameron.
They kind of stood out to me more in Pony, but
yes.
In Cat's a little bit shorter. It's got a bit more of a quick pace, Whereas Pony's got more to say.
They're both the same length, I think. They're both 90 minutes, approximately.
Yeah, there's not much in it. And there's just not much in it, full stop, to be honest. As films, there's very little going on. This one doesn't have the save the rec center type thing. This one is more these 2 families, one has the dad who's lost the mum, and one is the mum who's lost the dad, and it's let's get them together.
Yeah.
And then whatever the kids are up to too, the little drama they have. It's super low stakes, lowest of the low.
Not much conflict, no.
Yeah, not enough for a talking cat movie, he's got attitude, he's going around making jokes like Garfield, but he's not doing anything.
Well, maybe you can get some sun out here, huh?
If you could grab me a bowl of milk, that would be great.
Hey, Chris, did you let the cat in?
I came in myself, by the way, not that hard.
What the heck, cat?
Don't look at me. I may be here to help you humans, but explaining your irrational behavior is beyond me.
He doesn't really influence any of their lives in any way until maybe the last scene.
Yeah.
He's walking around oh, I gotta help the humans, and then he has a conversation with them. He's blah, 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 and they're what?
Yeah, he really doesn't have much agency, does he? Because then he winds up getting hit by a car.
Yeah. Spoilers.
Doesn't die, he's fine, but he does get hit by a car.
No, yeah. He gets a little bit of lightly wrapped gauze around his head. And the car was the villain. We never knew who was driving it. And we saw shots of it earlier in the movie. It's this sinister, car man or woman.
Yeah, and there was this really funny line where, I think it was around the time of the car crash, where a character says, maybe it makes sense for his collar to save him.
We all know Duffy's special, right? So maybe it makes sense that the collar might be able to save him.
Yeah.
And it's almost looking at the camera, and it's what do you mean? This is your movie. You establish the rules, right? What do you mean? You're asking the audience.
They were saying because Duffy was wearing a collar, and then they started talking some nonsense about a magic collar.
Maybe there's some magic left in his collar.
Did Duffy tell you something?
Yes, he was making a point. He said he had a collar hidden near a grove of trees.
And there's a collar my original owner gave me, buried under a grove of magical trees due north of here. That collar is what lets me help people.
That's crazy.
But then they went to the woods and like made a collar out of twigs or something, and then that was magic.
There was some kind of magic healing property.
Yeah, I don't know how they got to that conclusion or where they decided they needed to get this twig collar for. Like that was also rushed. The soundtrack, a lot of it sounded like karaoke versions of existing songs. Like there was definitely La Cucaracha.
Yeah,
more than
once.
once.
I caught that one.
I am too good sometimes.
They credited Big Score Music, which is a website that you can get. It's a bunch of cheaply licensed songs.
Yeah, loads of weird choices like that, like the opening font being like the Indiana Jones font for some reason.
Yeah, that was fun.
And like the background behind the Indiana Jones font is like a tilted montage of like cat clips.
That seemed like a preset in the editing software.
Yeah, it did.
That seemed like just whatever random editing software they had just had some weird preset.
Mm-hmm. And every character's just acting so off. Like this cat's just kind of walking around like talking to the audience, and they're like, these characters just keep talking to each other. It's like the first half an hour is basically just characters being like, did you just see a cat? I saw a cat.
Oh.
Me too.
Oh, I did see a cat, that one.
Yeah, me too.
Weird, right?
Yeah, and then they talk to it, and then they act the same the rest of the movie as if they didn't. They're not like that caught off guard by it.
No. It's like really not that big of a deal. Like
no, it doesn't influence anything.
It's, for the title to be a talking cat.
Yeah.
Sorry. A talking cat?
Thank
For
you.
it to be that, like it really doesn't live up to the title, huh?
No, not really.
And then like randomly, like going back to the sibling drama, the girl in this drama, she's got like this brutal line where she's like going in on her brother, like, at least I've got direction and purpose, and I'm a coder, and I've built this algorithm that's gonna make me rich. And it's like, what the fuck does this have to do with the cat? Like,
nothing.
Why don't you shut it? You're the annoying one.
No, you're the one who doesn't even know what he's going to do with his life. At least I have direction and purpose.
How does the cat influence this algorithm?
She has a laptop that they taped over the Macintosh logo, I guess. And it's just like this huge streak of like 3 pieces of tape going from the very top of the back of the laptop to like underneath where it folds. And so they tried to make it seem as though it was like a design style of the laptop. When, I don't know, normal people, you could see like someone puts a sticker on their laptop. You could just put a sticker there if you didn't want the Apple logo. And then the coder dad is seen with the exact same laptop. And I was like, okay, well, you're just reusing the same prop. But then at the end of the movie, this is like the biggest plot twist in the world. Both laptops were in frame. I'm like, wow, you had 2
the whole time
of the exact
that
same taped Macintosh laptop. Speaking of laptops, the scene where they were scanning clothes with like a
light,
a book light, pretending to be a scanner, and just all these computer noises and like
Scan in.
Yep.
Scan in.
Yep.
Scan in.
That was one of, I guess, the through lines they attempted with the talking cat. Was he has some line where he's like, I do not like these silly machines, but they can be useful at
these
times.
Beeping machines.
Yeah, that's like what all his dialogue is. He like says one thing and then undoes it. There were some funny ass moments with Roberts' voice acting when they got that nasty looking bowl out with like milk in it, and they put meat in the milk. And this cat is like
flaked tuna.
Yeah, they flaked tuna in milk.
But I don't think it was milk. I think it was in water.
Oh, really? Is it?
I think he just had a plate of flaked tuna with like some water. And when he brought it out, he introduced it as like, I'll get you some sandwich meat.
What should I do?
Feed me? A little more milk? Maybe some sandwich meat?
No, if you ever say sandwich meat, no one's thinking of like chunk tuna. That's not. You can make a tuna salad sandwich or whatever, a tuna sandwich. When you say sandwich meat, you're like, I think deli meat, like a slice of ham or something.
Why'd they drop it in liquid?
I don't know.
It looked gross.
Dude loves water. Have you seen the shots? Have you seen the establishing shots? With fucking going around the pool. He's like, he'll look at that pool, he'll be like, oh my god, it's rippling.
There's so many establishing shots and none of them have a subject.
No.
It's just like a tree or like leaves, a river.
He finds a waterfall, he's gooning.
Yeah, he's gooning to the waterfalls. But I did like the Eric Rogers VO when he was eating that watery tuna. He's like sat there going, "Oh, yeah, it's like nom."
Did someone mention my name? Never mind.
That's what I'm there for.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of reused shots. Lots of shots of water were reused. There was one establishing shot, the sunset, which was just a still image, like a PNG file, but they added a Ken Burns zoom. They did that twice, the exact same one. That was fun. I like that one.
Did you like the scene with the phone call where you only hear one side of the phone call and it's mostly just the girl going, "I know,
I know,
I know, I know,
I know,
I know. I know. I know. I know. I know. I know. Right.
I know. I know." She says it a lot. That was crazy.
That felt like the longest scene. On forever.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of like really awkwardly long scenes, like that scanning with the light thing. It's like that went on for so long, and there's some you can see them just keep a take of him, like he'll drop the shirt on the wrong, like it'll just like fly off the couch. He's like, wait, he has to like pick it up. I'm like, you already have a lot of shots. You didn't have to keep that one. You didn't have
too much coverage.
Yeah, we wouldn't have been confused about how he got up the stairs. You don't have to show him going all the way up the stairs every time, and then down.
I think they were just proud that they did it, and they want to show it, you know?
It's a oneer.
It's flexing the oneer. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But please tell me, what, like going back to, like, the description of the film, a sassy feline helps a family resolve its problems. What? How?
I don't know.
What did it help with? I can't remember any moment actually like impacted any of this. It's just kind of there.
It's like that. What's that Simpsons clip? Like, I must go, but you didn't do anything.
Yeah.
It's basically this.
Yeah, it's like the cat is like tertiary, even though it is the title of the film. That kind of it makes it even funnier.
It's the selling point.
Yeah, it's the whole point of the film.
I mean, nobody would be watching it otherwise, so, I mean, props. They scammed us all.
Yeah. And I'm here for it. This was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I was there for it. I like what it was bringing. I like the energy from these actors. The weird, like, moments of homoerotic tension.
Yeah.
I'm living for this. 2013, even though it feels like it was made in like 2005 and put on YouTube for free.
There was some very notable day for night shots where they just like gave everything a blue tint and pretended it was nighttime. I was like, oh.
Yeah. What's it like? What do you think, like, realistically, if you had to estimate how many days they shot this for? A week, maybe?
7?
Week or 2? Yeah, I'm thinking a week.
Yeah, that seems reasonable.
And even then, that's generous. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there really ain't much going on here.
Very efficient filmmakers.
Extremely. I feel like, yeah, what's their secret?
You know, if anybody listening, I know we got a lot of aspiring filmmakers in the audience. Just watch this. Anybody can make a movie. What's stopping you?
Yeah, anyone can make a talking
David Coteau is making movies.
Making all the movies, clearly.
Every movie.
The majority of movies are made by this guy.
He's made most movies. When the movie ended, they had this weird montage of just like, okay, we're doing like shots of the actors, right? We're gonna include 5 different shots of each actor with the title.
Almost like a sitcom or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, very weird.
But the first shot they included was just clearly like an outtake or just like in between shots of the tech dad sitting down on the car couch. He's like, vroom, vroom, beep, beep, beep.
Vroom, vroom, beep, 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 beep.
That was the only one of those with audio in it. I'm like, wow, you found that really special and poignant, and it was. And you
I'd give them that.
included it, and it was a very magical little inclusion at the end of the film. It really tied everything together.
How magical is it that these are just free on YouTube as well?
Oh hell yeah! That's why
beautiful.
when I was looking these up, I'm like, I got to do this now, because sometimes the licensing expires and then it removes, and I'm like, well, these are free on YouTube now. We got to take this opportunity.
And this is kind of just missed it, but the 10-year celebration, like a decade. These films,
yeah, pretty
been
much
out there in the world.
Tech dad winds up meeting the mom from the other family because he decides to go for a walk and gets lost. Like, I guess their houses are pretty far apart, but like he gets lost essentially in his own neighborhood and dehydrates because he forgot to bring water, and he's like dying. And so he just knocks on a random door. He's like, I didn't bring water. And then they meet, and then they like each other because they like the same movies.
I'm no Humphrey Bogart.
Oh my God, I love Humphrey Bogart. I taped the marathon that was on last night.
Oh, you saw that too?
Yeah.
It was great.
Oh yeah, and they try and do a little bit. They do this in both movies as well, having like a rich character and a poor character in different parts of town or something. And it's like, oh, these two worlds coming together and seeing what the other one's all about. Type thing.
So the cheese part of the cheese puff drama, there's many cheese puffs. She's always making cheese puffs. They're the most important thing in the world to her. And somehow on the second visit, he comes over and he like knocks it over. He like, I don't remember how he did that.
Duffy?
Bill, don't freak out. Don't freak out.
My cheese puffs.
Oh my...
The cheese puffs are more consequential than the talking cat.
True. It was a huge cheese puff drama.
Maybe even prep the cheese puffs. They were a special request. I gotta start the cheese puffs.
How goes the cheese puffs?
In the oven. If you're not making cheese puffs, you're grounded. Cheese puffs. Oh, that's my cheese puffs. I'm losing money on those cheese puffs. The investor meeting is not going well, and I don't have cheese puffs. I need you to make another batch of cheese puffs for me. But I make them from scratch, and the Sims asked for them specifically.
I'm sure it's not that big of a deal, Mom.
She didn't make cheese puffs, did she?
Nope.
She like pulls it out of the oven with no gloves.
Yeah.
And then he tries to grab it, and then he's like, oh, it's hot, and then drops it. And even though the entire thing was covered, and it doesn't look like it flips over or anything.
No.
Like it falls on the floor, and it never shows it after. We're just supposed to like imagine that they're ruined somehow. I don't know why they would be. Like you drop it, it's on the floor, it's covered. They'd be fine. I don't know what they were implying happened to the cheese puffs.
Yeah, it's like they show you the wrong things. Like the focus is just on some random shit that doesn't relate to anything.
Yeah, like in the script, drops the cheese puffs, and then they try to film it. They're like, that doesn't work, so let's just not show it.
Yeah, that's too hard. That's gonna take too much effort. Let's just move on.
We don't have the budget to like have the cheese puffs on the floor. These cheese puffs are covered because there's none in there. We maxed out the cheese puff budget in the earlier scenes.
Let's just kind of get an enjoyment from having this like retired pensioner coder guy like as like a main character in this talking cat movie. It's like
he was a funny guy.
Such like a specific demographic. Yeah.
So this is what retirement is all about, huh? I am bored.
But yeah, I guess maybe they really connected with this guy and his trendy haircut.
What's your rating?
You know what, this one? I'm giving this one a 10 out of 10.
Awesome.
This is exactly what I want from a talking. I want every talking cat movie to have nothing to do with the talking cat. Basically, I think that's genius. It's subversive. To have it be a family drama actually at the end of it.
Cheese puff drama.
A cheese puff drama. I've never seen that before. It's showing me heights and lows that I never even thought possible.
Yeah.
10 out of 10.
Okay, awesome.
Thank you, Duffy.
I'm giving this one a 1 out of 10.
Okay.
It's funny. Not quite there for me.
Not quite there.
No.
Yeah. All right. All right. Well, luckily you got a few options for this filmmaker from this year alone, let alone talking animal movies. Yeah. Like you could do like months of episodes just on this guy.
We could recommend 2 films a week. Every 2 films every episode from this guy. We would never get through his filmography. We would die before.
Yeah.
We would literally never get through it.
I think it's like 180 credits. 180 directing credits. Busy, David. You've been busy over there.
Busy boy. Busybody, busy boy. All right. Now it's time to talk about a talking pony.
What differentiates this one?
What differentiates this one? I think it's more unique.
You think it's more unique, but this is where you're biased though. Like a talking pony that says a bunch of puns. It's like it's made for you.
Hey, how long are a horse's legs? Long enough to touch the ground.
Well, here's what makes it unique, is that the establishing shots make up probably 60% of the film.
Yeah, they go real experimental with it this time.
Oh,
like
yeah.
Really trying to find a voice with this one.
Dude loves water. He loves leaves. He's like a real Terrence Malick. They should have gotten him to do the show at the Sphere. Really.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is a different direction, different writer.
Yeah.
What I like about this film is it subverts your expectations. It's called a talking pony, but it's not even a pony, it's a horse. And
yeah, I didn't even. It's not even a pony.
It's not even a pony. And there is no talking pony for at least the first 30 minutes.
Just in a dream, right? That's like the only.
Yeah, well, I mean, she was like, it wasn't even a real dream. She was like looking at the pony at the beginning, and then someone else said something, and it was just somebody behind her. She just has like terrible sense of direction.
Doing great.
Good to hear that. Wait, what did you say?
I said we're great.
So like the pony didn't even start talking until she got booped on the head by a magic horseshoe that was just at the barn.
Yeah, and this one was different rules. It wasn't a one-time per person rule set anymore. Now it's just as long as you're attacked with the horseshoe, the magic horseshoe,
you had to get knocked out. You couldn't just get attacked or booped with it. You had to have like actual brain damage in order to make this work. And I was saying, like, as a joke, as soon as the rules were happening, I'm like, she should just go around, like, bonking other people, like, no, you gotta know what the ponies sounds like. And then that actually happens. she knocks out somebody else.
How about a little tap on the head?
Okay, but be gentle. Ow!
Hit him again.
Ow!
Harder.
Ow!
And kind of exactly like a talking cat. I'm struggling to really relate the talking pony bit to the overall plot of like a rich businessman trying to build a mall in like a quaint little farm in the middle of nowhere.
There's this really rich guy who wants to buy the ranch and turn it into a shopping center. So unless we can convince him that this place is worth keeping it the way it is, we're done for. What we need is something special. Something like a talking horse.
I got it.
Not just a talking pony, a joking pony.
Yeah.
A punny pony. Loves those puns.
A talking punny.
Why the long face? Get it?
Yeah. I really can't. No link? None? I really can't think of anything.
Yeah.
How they relate.
No, well, because what is introduced as like the villains just turn out not to even really be the villains, and there were no villains.
Yeah, and this is where the a talking blank blur is getting stuck in my head because, yeah, going back to the incestuous nature, you notice that the mother character is played by the mother from a talking cat as well.
It's probably the same universe. So she talks about having a previous family in this one, so maybe...
True. Maybe it's like the same universe, yeah.
The talking cat family didn't work out very well. It didn't last very long.
But then how does that explain? The horse is voiced by the coda dad.
Oh, is it?
The haircut. Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, as soon as you started talking, I put that together.
Yeah, I just had a little hiccup with the waffle maker this morning.
Juliet, are you okay, Juliet?
So then that's also confusing. So what does that mean as far as the universe building is concerned? He's become a horse? Maybe that's part of there is magic.
Maybe he died and the spirit reincarnated as the horse.
Yeah.
You got a family on a ranch, farm, whatever, with a corral with a horse in it that only ever stays there and only ever stays in one specific corner of the corral and just kind of like doesn't really emote much, doesn't move much, just stands
Just doesn't
there.
really do anything, yeah.
No, just kind of just stands there forever. And the daughter character, she loves the horse a little too much.
Yeah.
Not unless the prince is a frog or some other type of animal. Then he turns into a prince.
Is that why you were always kissing me when we were younger?
It's worth a try.
She has 2 brothers, they're stepbrothers, so she's adopted. Her dad died or something.
Yeah, why was that necessary to mention? Why did she have to be a stepsister? I guess.
I don't know.
Right. Yeah. Another sibling rivalry thing.
They used it as justification to do never-ending sleep pranks on her. So yeah, she's in a dream, then she wakes up, they tickle her face, and then it's like, oh, there was shaving cream in your hand. She like gets it all over her face. She's like,
But multiple times they tie her to the bed.
Yeah, that one was funny. So at the beginning of the film, in the first sleep prank, you'll notice that she ever so slightly, where the post is, the bed post is, she like nudges it ever so slightly, and it looks like it's gonna fall off, like the railing from To Freedom, basically. I'm like, okay, that's not structurally intact at all. That's literally just sitting there. And if you touch it, it's gonna fall off. They don't draw any attention to it. You're not supposed to notice it. But then later in one of the sleeping pranks, when they tie, it's like, okay, in the script, they tie her foot to the bedpost. She gets out of bed, and then the bedpost that her foot is tied to is the one that would have been like at her head. But the rope isn't that long, so it doesn't make sense that because she would have had to have been sleeping upside down, which she wasn't. So she, like, within a cut, they tie it to her foot, and then she's like, oh, I fell into bed, which could seriously injure or kill someone. That's like that's not even a prank at that point. But then I realized, oh, they probably tied it to that bedpost because the one near her feet would just fall off. As shown earlier, it is not structurally intact. So that was a fun little discovery of just why that choice was made.
Well, what about the ongoing theme of speaking of gambling and poker, this weird maths thing.
Hell yeah.
Like that was this ongoing thing with those brothers, right? Where they're trying to trick each other out of money. And,
Do you have 2 10s for a 5?
Absolutely.
Thanks.
Pete, I don't think that works out quite.
Wait, what was that? 2 10s for a 5.
Here's back your 5. Now give me back 2 10s.
That's just an ongoing thing with the film.
The 2 brothers are like little couple chads or whatever, and they want to be professional posers, as they say, and that's one of the jokes. Is like they pose it. They think they're going to be models. They're like, check this one out. It's like Zoolander or whatever.
Yeah,
just not as well realized.
That was like an actual good joke. That was like, oh my, you've actually written a double entendre. It's kind of funny. And then the horse has to come in 2 seconds after and over-explain the joke and kind of ruin it.
Even better.
Yeah. Pete and I are going to move back to the city and become world-famous posers.
Yeah, you guys are posers, all right.
So these 2 brother characters, their entire purpose in life, there's like not much going on in the lives of any of these characters. So the daughter just like brushes the horse all day and gets pranked in her sleep. Oh my god, that shot of the clown makeup where she like looks at the camera and goes like, yeah. That was an amazing shot.
That was a good shot.
That prank was incredible. So she does nothing all day. The two brothers just kind of like waltz around the ranch or whatever. And I guess they constantly carry like just so much cash on them.
Yeah, they got wads.
Yeah.
Oh, they look 17 as well, yeah.
They instigate bets with people and mostly the sister.
I bet you $20 if you pick a number from 1 through 10, I can guess it.
So they do a bet and then she figures it out and he's like, shucks, you got me there. And he just keeps giving her money over the course of the film, and they have all these stupid fucking games and these stupid fucking rules. And they do this with other characters too.
Mr. Beetle, you have 2 10s for a 5?
The mother wants to sell the ranch because otherwise the bank's gonna take it.
Yeah, that's the Save the Rec Center plot.
In comes Mr. Beetle, a rich man who's going to buy the land, and he's driving there with his son. They almost hit a deer, but the deer's invisible.
Because there's a deer crossing!
I guess, because they'd show out the front of the vehicle. They didn't have to do that. They could have just cut away. They show out the front of the vehicle, it's not there, and they pretend like they almost hit a deer. I don't know. An invisible deer they almost hit. His son is like just really awkward looking in a really nice suit. Mm-hmm. And the son and the woman's daughter, I guess, are like kind of having this Romeo and Juliet situation, which they even say is that. Like they reference Romeo and Juliet.
Juliet is a much prettier name.
Only if you have to Romeo to go with it.
Wherefore art thou, Juliet?
Sitting next to a pile of manure.
How you doing, Romeo?
Yeah, and they use a bunch of names from Romeo and Juliet, don't
Yeah.
they? Like some of the characters.
Horatio.
Straight up. Yeah.
Is that horse's name. The entire film takes place on this ranch. It's essentially just the longest property showing ever. And that's mostly what happens. And then in the meantime, girl's getting knocked out and tries to knock out the dude, and then the talking horse, she's trying to convince people. And you know the whole thing where she's like, no, look, everybody, a talking horse.
My name is Horatio. I'm a horse, if you haven't already guessed by my appearance. Hay is my favorite food, and I was considering taking up tap dancing, but unfortunately, I have 2 left feet.
A talking horse? Were you crazy?
Did you not all hear Horatio just speak?
Yes, we did not just all hear Horatio speak.
He just kind of grunted and snorted like he always does.
Which makes it extra funny because in the in-universe, they all paused for like a huge amount of time. In the amount of time that the horse was talking, they all paused and were just kind of like standing there while the horse didn't say anything.
Like the horse never says anything funny, which does kind of add to the humor. It's like
it's great.
Waiting for the horse to say some just annoying shit that like just doesn't add anything. Yeah.
According to her, he's doing stand-up, she said. The horse is doing stand-up.
He's telling stand-up jokes.
You're like, okay. And then the mother, like, the mother goes away with like the Mr. Beetle who wants to like buy the land or whatever. She has a conversation with him where she flat out says like that her daughter's gone crazy and it's probably because they're selling the farm. And then he's like, wait, okay, I guess you don't want to sell it. She's like, no, I do.
It was really hard for her, losing her father. And now the thought of losing this place, she loves it here. We all do.
Miss Belf, I'm wasting my
No,
time.
I never said that.
But the entire time, she's just kind of left her daughter alone. Like, she's not going over there being like, is everything okay? Like, you crazy? Like, did you... The daughter literally got knocked unconscious, by the way. Here's a fucking helpful life-saving tip. If you ever get a head injury that makes you go unconscious, go to the fucking hospital. You cannot not go to the hospital, because even if you feel fine and conscious and lucid, you could be having internal brain bleeding or injuries that will kill you if you don't go to the hospital. That's literally how Liam Neeson's wife died. She had like a small like bump on her head, like skiing, like on the fucking bunny hill or whatever. She thought she was fine and then she died. So everybody take that advice seriously. These characters, they just they just knock each other out willy-nilly. It's fine.
It's part of the world building. Like, it's essential to everything working, because them all getting head injuries. So.
I will say that there was a moment where the horse spoke to the audience and said, "Don't try this at home, kids."
Kids, remember, don't try this at home.
And I kind of realized
they had to do it.
You shouldn't have. No, I mean, that does nothing, though. Like, this film is probably a lot more unethical if you're trying to show it to kids. Like, thankfully, no kids have seen this, probably. But you don't want to create any kind of narrative where a kid can watch something and go like, oh, I just got to knock myself out with a horseshoe, and then I'll be able to talk to horses.
Yeah, that's really stupid.
It doesn't matter if you just say, don't do this at home, kids. Like, that does nothing. Don't show it. That's a bad thing to be showing kids. Like, so in that sense, a talking cat is a bit more ethical in terms of media for children.
Especially when a lot of people like do have horseshoes like hanging up and in their house. There's often like a superstitious like item that people have. So
yeah, and I mean, if a kid's gonna watch this, they're probably gonna be like a little horse girl or whatever. Like, just I love horses and like on a farm or something. They could have access to that anyway. So that was probably a bad idea. They keep trying to negotiate the terms of selling the house. Meanwhile, the son that Mr. Beetle brought is just like trying to get laid. And Horse Girl's like, he's talking, it's real. And he's like, I believe you. I'm like, no, you don't. You just want to get laid. He like clearly doesn't.
Could do anything, yeah.
He's just a little horny fucker.
Since when did you start to love horses?
Since I left the city and discovered the wonders of nature.
And so at some point, Mr. Beetle hurts his back out of nowhere.
And there's nothing, I repeat, nothing that's wrong with me.
What is it?
My back!
That was funny. That the way that was written.
Oh, the sound design was great.
Yeah, the combination of the line as well. There's nothing, I repeat, nothing wrong with me. Oh, my back. And it's all like timed in that kind of really awkward way. And then, yeah, the sound effect it plays when he cricks his back. It sounds like he like shit himself, and there's like a duck quacking.
There's like
in this like
poop noise and slide whistle. And like muted trumpet. Like
there's a bunch of like weird cartoony sound effects just like shoved in randomly.
Oh yeah.
Like, there's literally the wah 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 wah.
You did it to me too.
Number's 9.
Yeah, like Price is Right sound effects.
yeah.
Whenever the two brothers who are completely instigating all of these bets, but lose every time. Whenever they lose and they get tricked, they're like, "Oh shucks, you got me." What I love about them. Okay, I'll get back to this in a second. We'll continue talking about the broken bag. So he brought in his briefcase that you would assume is filled with like all the documents that you need to sign, maybe some cash, I don't know. The briefcase is mostly his back pills. He opens it up, just like most of the volume of the case is his back pills. And then she's like, this was so weird. She has this conversation with him where it seems like the goal of the conversation, like from the perspective of the film, is to be like anti-medicine, like anti-medical professionals.
Oh my god, they're useless. They just mask the pain. They don't do anything to solve the problem.
No, the pills help me from my doctor. She's like, those don't do anything, but she's a massage therapist.
Are you qualified to give that kind of diagnosis?
Yes. I was a masseuse for 20 years.
Which is like not a real doctorate. I don't think. Like, not a real doctor. She's a massage therapist. And she's like, no, I'm going to make you a special tea. Never tells him what's in it.
That's right, she hides
Probably aged urine or something.
Yeah.
It's good for you. Drink it.
Well, I'm allergic to a lot of things. I'm not supposed to have a lot of sugar or starch. Pretty much just fruits, so...
Don't be such a baby and drink this stuff.
See, it makes you breathe better.
Oh, I can feel my nasal passages starting to open up.
Oh man, all I needed to do was breathe, and now my back feels great. She literally has a line where she's like, what? If your doctors told you that living was unhealthy, would you just not live?
If your doctors told you that living was bad for your health, that you would seriously consider trying not to do it.
Like, that was literally, like, that's what she said. I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, some just anti-medical...
They try to, like, characterize him by, he's a bit of, like, a hypochondriac. and they're trying to play up the like city guy versus the small town lass type thing. But yeah, it manifests with some weird stuff.
Like this tree. It's alive, isn't it?
Yep. It just grows right out of the ground.
And you don't find that disturbing?
People build up a lot of stress in their day-to-day, daily grind. And they keep it right here.
Ow! Wow, what did you just do, woman?
What did you just do, woman? And she like gives him some meds. Just like the angles that these writers and the director like brings out of this, it's just like, bravo, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like I gotta clap because it's like, where are you even like getting this? Like what part of like when you're mapping out the story of this film, when you put, yeah, a talking pony, that's the thesis. Where do we go from there? I know. Yeah, businessman who's like a hypochondriac. It's like what the okay, yeah. I'm here for it, but
a massage therapist.
Yeah.
And these the two Chad brothers are so funny. I wrote down
we gotta
one of their
go back
tricks.
to them.
Yeah, okay, we're going back to them. I love this film. It is so good.
Yeah, they're iconic, those brothers.
One of them, his acting, I'm sure you have to have seen this. You know that fucking gay porn meme where somebody posted on YouTube without the porn, and the guy's oh shit, I'm sorry. Sorry for what? My dad taught us not to be afraid of our dicks. The disposition, the way that the blonde Chad brother acts is identical to that character, the bald guy in that gay porn thing.
That's what I mean by the porno-y feel.
Oh, hell yeah.
So do you have, like, money on you? Talking horse. What, are you crazy?
If you look at the poster on IMDb, Talking Pony.
Yeah, I'm on it.
Everybody is in the poster except that guy. Literally, every character that ever appeared in the film, including the horse, is on the poster except that one guy. Like, they couldn't figure out how to fit him or something, or like they didn't have a good photo. They forgot to get a photo of him. Like, what the fuck?
That's funny.
Like, literally, he's just not in the poster.
Notice that. Yeah.
Could you imagine being that guy? It's not just like, oh, I didn't get on the poster. It's everybody else in the entire film.
I'm the only one
got on the poster except me. Even the horseshoe's on the poster.
Man. And he's like the standout.
He's great.
I can actually think of a scene where the horse actually does something to do with like what's happening, and it is the card scene. Where they're like, hey, I'm gonna play a game you can't possibly cheat at.
Yes.
Cards. And then the horse like watches in the background, just revealing what the cards are, I guess. So the horse does do something more than the cat, I guess.
Yeah. Well, eventually, yeah. They have the cards, and they lose at that, obviously, because the horse is just telling her what cards are there, because the horse can see the cards, and the horse is familiar with cards. He's like, he knows like spades.
That's right, yeah.
Like he said spades. I'm like, he understands what the symbol is.
4 of spades.
What?
And how to communicate.
Could have done with him in the casino.
Yeah.
Little card counting pony in the background.
I was there.
Yeah.
So I wrote down one of these because it was so fucking dumb. So Mr. Beetle's son, the awkward kid in the fucking business suit, overdressed, horny guy that's trying to get in the girl's pants.
Yeah.
So they try to do a game with him, and then he's like, I bet you that you are not here.
I'll bet you $50 that you guys aren't here, and I'll prove it. Deal.
You get existential.
He's like, and so he starts asking questions. He's like,
you're not in Mexico, right?
No.
And you're not in Detroit?
No way.
And you're not in England?
Right.
So if you're not in Mexico, you're not in Detroit, and you're not in England, you must be someplace else.
That's right, we must be someplace else.
And if you're someplace else, you certainly can't be here.
Naturally, if we're someplace else, we can't possibly be here.
You got me. And just give him more cash. And it's so funny because the way that these characters work, they're like these Chad scumbags trying to like manipulate and like prank and like doing these dangerous fucking things, and like just like it's like they're the scammers, but you only ever see money come out of their pocket and given to someone else, and they don't try to dispute it. Like even that one where it's like that's the most bullshit thing that anybody could possibly say. Even then, they're like, you got me good. And just, they're very...
they got honor. They're honor bound.
Exactly. They're very honorable Chad children. And that's all they do with their time. And they have literally nothing else going on in their lives. That's all there is to their character. I don't know what their goals are.
True, yeah, that's all they do.
That's literally all they do.
Yeah, like, why are they even there outside of that?
I don't know. I actually have no idea. It seems like a lot of what this film is just like struggling to find ways to fill up time. I think maybe they filmed the entire plot and then realized, like, oh shit, this isn't even feature length.
It
like,
must be something
This
like
is
that.
like under 40 minutes, and then they just filled the rest with like shots of a waterfall.
Yeah, establishing shots. Yeah. And like
the dam with the 2 logs.
I loved that scene where the girl is like riding the horse. It's one of the few times you see the horse like move. They do it for not only an excruciatingly long amount of time, but there are like 3 songs that they play. Kind of interjecting one, like it's like 30 seconds of like a random country song, just like awkwardly spliced in to this riding montage. It's not like edited in smooth either.
No.
It's not like time with a cut or anything.
Very
it's just
abrupt.
like, yeah, there's just like an awkward like crossfade, like just suddenly, and it like makes you jump out your skin. You're not expecting it, and then again it just like ends randomly and just shifts back into the like stock music that's been playing.
Yeah,
that was excruciating.
Laughing with each other through the years.
As soon as the like 2 times in the movie where the horse manages to get to the other side of the corral, the cameraman's like, ooh, I'll follow her. But it's like he's filming with like one arm and like a peg leg. That was like way more, that was like more shaky cam than a fucking Paul Greengrass film. Like, what the hell was going on?
That was weird, because that wasn't in The Talking Cat. Like
No.
this weird handheld craziness. It was in there a couple times.
They couldn't fit a dolly there.
Yeah, no steady cam, that's for sure.
It was shocking.
Yeah, it was wild.
And then the horse, this sounded less like a bathroom recording and more like a Skype long distance recording. Like it was particularly compressed, low bitrate audio.
Because you're having a conversation with a talking horse?
Yeah, it was. And there was a particularly good moment of VO from the horse when it was in one of the scenes where they are purposefully inflicting head injuries in order to try and speak to the horse. And the horse, like, he's got a line where he screams, like, "What about now?"
And harder!
Ow!
How about now?
Can you hear him now?
I can't hear anything now.
And like the mic like really peaks, and it's clearly way too close. And it's like, this is nice. Hell yeah.
There's a part where like one of his lines is like just abruptly cut out. Like he was gonna say more, but then they pretended it was the end of a sentence. I wrote that one down.
He's passed out.
Well, get the pail, splash him.
And then that was it. And then they much like a talking cat, they just kind of impose these weird rules with the magic. But the talking cat, the magical necklace, like he had an internal dialogue before. He seemed like he knew, he was aware of some of these rules. Or maybe he just chose it. Maybe he's like, I only want to talk
He's just
to you
like, sorry,
once.
that's the rules. He has like a line like that, yeah.
Yeah. In this film, I guess like 20 minutes before the end of the movie or something, the horse is like, the magic is finite.
Who knows how much luck is left in that horseshoe? There may be a limited supply.
Well, the horse didn't even know about the magic horseshoe before. Like they inferred it, like, oh, it must have been the magic in the horseshoe. But then after like 2 people get bonked, he's like, I don't know. It's probably gonna run out. You probably can't do it to everybody, actually.
Yeah, how do you know this?
They just decided that.
Yeah, they're just making it up as they go along. That scene with the "you give me 2 10s for a 5"
The
thing,
classic.
that triggered this old ass memory I had where when I worked in retail, I had like a scammer like try and do that to me.
Oh, really?
Where it's like a common thing apparently where at like peak times when things are busiest, some people will like get in queues and try and like fluster the person at the cashier and try and stress them out, specifically at busy times. And yeah, he was like
Pick
doing
the most
all that.
tired looking cashier.
Yeah. So it's like, yeah, I'll give you 2 10s for the 20, and they're like just trying to fluster you. And he like tried it on me. I was like holding this cash, and I was like, man, I'm just gonna get my supervisor. And then he like stressfully kind of ran off.
Yeah. He should have given you super weed before.
I would have given them everything.
Given him everything in the registry.
Yeah.
Do not unlock because you'd be going the wrong direction. Do not unlock,
by all
Alex.
means, don't
Alex,
unlock.
do not
Go
unlock.
ahead.
Oh, okay.
Alex, do not unlock.
By all means, don't unlock.
It says 15 to the star. No, what are you doing? What are you doing?
I was just zoned out. I'm so tired.
You could have trusted me.
Oh my god.
Why did you do that? You were taking advantage of my friend that you poisoned with your super weed. All right, I'll give you 10. You give me 100.
Yeah. I give you one coin, £1 coin. You give me all those notes. Okay.
Yeah. So in the credits for this film, much like a talking cat, they credit Big Score Music, and it is a website where you can find music. And I'm hoping that somebody can find like the exact same songs from this movie. If they're still available on the website, and I don't know if they're free download or how much it would cost to license, because I believe that there's like an even funnier edit of this movie where if you have the existing music from this film, you can take all of the scenes where the horse is talking and then just replace it with nothing. You can edit out the horse talking, and then you get the girl going like, "Look, everybody, he's doing stand-up," and then just like 10-second shot of the horse and like silence and the music's still going, and like and then they go back like, "What? She's not saying anything." I would love to see that perspective. I would love to see that.
Yeah.
That's an untapped market right there. It's like the talking animal movie, but like the audience never hears it either.
There's a whole fan cut potential. Yeah. It's like the real cut, the head injury cut.
Yes.
It's like, what's actually happening.
Yeah. And still keep the same title.
Yeah.
Yeah, we never got the talking pony in this one either. It was just the talking horse.
No. It's crazy. Like, why didn't they just use like Incompetech? You know?
What is that?
Like, this... every single like one of those YouTube songs that you hear, like they're from Incompetech. It's just like a free place to get songs for YouTube videos that has been around for like decades now, I think. Much higher quality than whatever they're paying for this stuff.
That's probably a license that only exists on YouTube, though. I don't know if you could...
Potentially, yeah.
And I know that these people, they knew that they were like pushing for like a theatrical release, right? Like IMAX.
They want to sell DVDs at least.
They were planning on putting this in the fucking Sphere. They were like, "This. I heard that this thing's gonna get built someday, and we got the perfect fucking film." See, I would love if they played this film at the Sphere.
They just play like meme shit, in the Sphere.
I love this movie for a lot of the same reasons I love Aggro Drift. I would love to watch this in a crowd. And every time it goes back
I would too.
To the exact same establishing shots where nothing has happened, really.
They'll be cheering.
And the talking pony hasn't even shown up until like 30 minutes through the... Like, he doesn't start talking. And then it's mostly inconsequential and just nothing happens. And it's just like a really long property showing and a bunch of little chads tricking each other and bad jokes. I would love to see that in a crowd. I would love
to see that in a crowd.
It would be a great, like, drunk people movie. And you get to see who the survivors are in the crowd and who was not brave enough to experience art in its truest form.
Though I had some cowards at my last Breen showing.
Yeah.
Boo. And there were some cowards at the Aggro Drift showing too.
Oh yes, some very loud cowards. They made their presence known.
Yeah. What is this?
But that added to the experience. Worst movie at TIFF!
Yeah.
Stomping out of the fucking theater. Bye-bye. You made my experience better.
True.
So yeah, basically the plot gets wrapped up by, I guess they believe her by the end of it, and they're like, this ranch is special. Even though they said it was the horseshoe, not the ranch, but this ranch is special. We're gonna turn it into an adventure ranch, and you can make your famous lasagna and serve your, like, I don't know, she'll sell her like aged urine tea or whatever the fuck she gave him. And she's like, yeah, I get to be a manager and keep the ranch.
And once people come and drink your amazing tea, breathe in the air, and get away from the city, you're gonna feel 20 years younger. So welcome to Belle and Beetle's Wonder Ranch, where dreams come true.
So much like the postcard from Earth, love and capitalism wins in the end.
And talking ponies. That is essential too.
Yeah.
That helps.
Yeah, we got a couple horse whinny laughs where the guy was like, or what? I don't know how well I could do that.
You're a talking horse.
And all I was thinking is like, well, you could just record a real horse whinny.
Yeah, they already had him in the booth though. They already paid him, you know.
That's a noise that you can make. You don't have to get hit over the head to hear that noise.
I will give that to the horse voice actor. Probably better than Eric Roberts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But that does give the edge to the talking cat to me, as far as like the humor of whenever it speaks. Whenever the pony / horse is speaking, it's just like, shut up, man.
Yeah. He was like, there was a point in the movie, she was like, I forget what she said to him. She was like, no, just stop talking. Like, go over there. He's like, okay. I'm like, you're going to fucking take that?
Yeah.
Bro?
I'm taking you to the corral, and you are not to speak to me because you are a horse and I am a human. You got that?
Absolutely.
He's like, you're being such a pushover.
This pony's a pushover, yeah.
Yeah. He looked tired.
Oh, he looked so tired. I felt sorry for that guy.
The whole movie, it was just the most tired horse that's not an actor and didn't do anything, and then just walked from one end of the corral to the other twice.
It's just like, why are you looking at me? Why are you filming me? I don't want to be here.
Like, can I sleep now? Basically the vibe. And it all worked out.
It did work out.
In the end.
Just like Romeo and Juliet, it worked out for everyone.
Oh, yes. It was a very Shakespearean type story. Another thing in the credits, it advertised a website. It advertised funfamilyfeatures.com. And I went there and...
I saw that in the opening. I noted that down.
No one's paying for the domain anymore, so...
Shocker.
There was an archive on Internet Archive, and it was just more films from David DeCoteau, basically. Just his catalog being displayed there. But
I can believe that.
Has he made anything recently? He doesn't believe in websites anymore?
Nah. He's got IMDb. That's all he needs.
Oh, you know what's funny? His IMDb profile picture, I don't remember... I think this was like 2008 or whatever. There was like some sort of like attemptedly viral thing.
This no hate thing.
Yeah, I think it might have had to do with like gay rights or something. Like there was like a Proposition 8.
Okay.
I think, it was probably Prop 8 trying to be passed, which was like a gay marriage thing.
Yeah.
But you look at, whenever I see the profile photo, just the way that it looks on his head, it looks like... I just kept reading it as no ho ho because it looks like two O's, and I was like, I don't know. No ho ho, and he's got tape over his mouth, and he's like,
man, he's still going strong. This year already, he's made 3
movies already in 2024. $1 million lethal listing. That's a title.
We're in April.
He's can't
stop him.
Think of it this way. If every film you make has some sort of passive income that you continue to receive paychecks for the rest of your life, and let's say it's on like Tubi, or like maybe like on YouTube, or like, anywhere. Let's do the math. If you make $10 off of each of these films per year,
he's got 181,
right?
181 direct credits.
Yeah, so if they're making as little as $10 a year each, then what? He's getting $2,000 a year. We have to assume it's probably more than that. Like, he's probably doing pretty well.
It must be.
He's continuing to do it. It's his job.
Someone must be funding it.
This certainly isn't his like side gig. I should hope. You never know, actually.
Yeah, you do never know.
He could be an Uber driver.
True.
He could be doing a couple things, but 180 films in like 40 years, basically. That's a lot.
It's a little bit silly. Yeah.
Fun character. Fun character. I wonder what the highest rated film.
It must be Talking Cat, right? They did. I'm very curious about Santa's summer house, because the animal in that is a corgi, so I feel
what the
obligated.
fuck? Santa's summer house?
An hour van ride through Backhouse Twistorama, and this isn't the right place?
No, this isn't the resort.
It's not called a talking corgi though. It's just Santa's summer house. It's from the same year.
There's no exclamation mark, question mark, exclamation.
No,
it's the same
it's the same, like, the poster is like the same style.
Oh my god.
Like the same board. Even, and you know what? This one's getting a 1 out of 10, but with a like. Whereas a talking cat.
Oh, you liked it though. You liked
10 out of 10 with no like. The cat one. This one is a 1 out of 10 with a like.
Okay.
You can interpret that however you feel like that comes across.
All right, I'm giving a talking pony. Easy 10. 10 out of 10.
So we're completely inverse right here, right now.
Yeah, this is the most discrepancy we've ever had in a single episode between our ratings.
This is the one that's
as far as you could possibly get in an episode.
Oh man!
But you know, like, we talked about the Talking Pony one for a good while, despite 60% of the movie being establishing shots. It was a very densely packed film with a lot of things to appreciate, a lot of details. Just, you know, a lot. It's got a lot going for it. I would buy the Blu-ray.
Let's be real though. It's those iconic brothers. It's the brothers.
The brothers.
They will do it. They really are what elevate it.
I mean, they were in it. They were part of the movie. I liked it.
Well, I'm happy for you. I'm glad you found this gem, this diamond in the rough.
Yeah, I don't know how the fuck I found it, but, you know. Made it onto my watch list at some point.
That's what IMDb is good at sometimes, yeah.
Yeah. And they were both free on YouTube, in HD.
Yeah, they were like official uploads. It wasn't any shady stuff going on.
Didn't even have to pirate it.
Yeah.
Read your beeping machine.